probably just going to remove the whole foot peg, kickstand, decompression cable, remove the clutch cable, and then that'll kind of free up the space for me to get at all the case bolts. So the kit is a VC-140. I've got an old oil can and I'm going to basically just pour oil all over the clutch discs and make sure each one is saturated and just kind of let them hang out in here while I continue taking apart the bike. You will also need to undo your pulse generator plug. Get a little bit of wiggly. There it goes. You might just let that drip a little bit, but we'll set this aside. 2 locator pins, so make sure you don't lose those. Sometimes those will pop out and maybe fall in your oil. That'd be a good day. Dude, why is that so stuck? There it goes. Jeez. It was jammed in there. So there is your oil filter. Now that that's off, we have to knock out this little tab here. I believe the tool just bolts across a couple of these and gives you a lever, so you can kind of just, it basically makes this into a wrench so you can hold the housing and then knock this off. But I should be able to make something pretty easily. Literally 2 holes, a little bandsaw relief out for a socket, and if I measure right, it'll bolt right on there. And I'm just going to add some little like nuts or something in here for spacers. I think it moved. It's actually not that tight. Not crazy tight anyway. Yep, you got it. Place that over here. And we have a washer. Place the washer right here. What does the manual know anyway? Probably nothing. Okay, I don't see why you need to do that, so I'm going to take that off like that. One thin ring on the bottom and a thick ring on the top, or should I say narrow and wide. This one's just relieved on the inside for this washer. There's 2 washers at the bottom. One's a flat washer and then one's like a bevel washer, like a Belleville washer, which is giving that kind of some extra, like a little bit of spring pressure, I think. And that's, again, I think it's just to kind of smooth it out for the street. They call this a judder seat and a judder spring. And is this backwards? I'm pretty sure. I should check that. In the drawing, it should be, the little spring washer should be angled this way, not this way. So the bowl side should be facing down. First, this is the narrow ring. It's got to go around those washers, so it's going on first, which is here. And then the steel clutch plate. And another friction disc. Hold it in place for me. If I don't have to do that, then I'm not going to bother. Let's see. Alright, so if you did have the whole assembly off and put it back together, you want to remove those two springs, those temporary springs basically, so you can tighten this nut again. This is an important note. You install this. This is also a dished or Belleville washer, which provides basically some spring pressure, and there is a clear outside stamp in the washer itself. Make sure the outside faces the outside. Don't flip it around. Place the washer on and the nut on. So the torque on this bike is, it's all interesting. They give you ranges for everything. This is 36 to 43 foot-pounds, so I'm probably just going to set it to 40 and call that good. It says to wedge a piece of soft material, brass or aluminum, in between the housing gear and this drive gear. So I'm going to see if my little 1/4-inch plate of aluminum will wedge those gears together and just prevent them from turning. Don't use something like steel or you'll damage the gears. Just snug those a little bit. And now we will I don't even know if it's going to make that whole housing turn or not. Alright, hold it with that. There it is. Yeah, I don't even think this did anything. It didn't even move. Now we're going to go on to punching that little spot back. I'm just going to use a little punch for that and just give it some gentle taps. Unless you totally want to screw the next guy, I'll usually leave a hair of gap so I'm not tapping it like all the way flat. It just makes it easier for whoever does it next, probably you, maybe, to get your tool back in there and get it out. So I've got it plenty into that. Springs also have a wear limit, which can also, if you have, again, bike with a lot of miles, your springs can actually soften over time after being just compressed over and over. That can also make your clutch slip, which was what I was wondering, because again, I don't know how many miles this has. Standard free link, which is where it is at rest, like this, is 1.46, and the wear limit is 1.41. So if it's measuring less than 1.41 overall, you're going to want to replace the spring. But these are all good because they're all basically exactly 1.54, so they're actually about 100 thou longer than what it's even saying in the manual. So I'm fine with that. Little spring retainer. Pop this back in. Slip that back in there. I'm just going to kind of gently straighten this little screen because it's kind of tweaked and make sure it's all flat. It's actually skinnier at the back and thicker at the front, so I think it's kind of designed to just jam in there. Kind of curious if there's junk in there. Ooh, there is. Oh, there are chunks of aluminum in there. I wonder if it's just like bits of casting that came off over the years. Wow. Aluminum is definitely better than steel. Slider screen back in. Yeah, just wedges right there. Yeah, that can't be an original. There's no way. Original gaskets just fall apart. All right, hold your auto decompression lever down, out of the way, and then gently slip this back on. Once it's in there, I will pull the clutch lever a little bit. Right about here, and pull this guy so it will slip onto the disengagement pin. There it goes. Okay.